was booked for an 8-hour day.
Uh-huh.
I did it in an hour and a half.
What?
Yes.
They were probably shocked. Because especially,
Shocked.
like, sometimes you don't always expect kids to fly through things.
Right. And back in those days, it wasn't digital. It was on a reel-to-reel. It was $1,000 for one of those reels. So for me to not go through 8 reels...
They were like, this girl's saving us money. We like her.
Right?
Hey, Elise Bowman here, and today we have animation adventures because I am with Patricia Patz, who voiced Peppermint Patty.
Yes, I did.
How much fun was that?
It was so much fun.
Really?
I got to spend the day with all of the creative people behind Peanuts.
Oh.
Charles Schulz was there. Lee Mendelson, who was our producer, was there. Bill Melendez, who was our director, and also the voice of Snoopy was
really?
there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I love this picture that she has. Check this out with Charles Schulz. That is so great. Now, I want to hear the story of how you actually booked the role of Peppermint Patty, and tell us how, like, your age range as well.
Okay, so when I was 10 years old, I was cast in the title role of the musical Annie.
Love that.
I know. And so we were in San Francisco on tour. Apparently, opening night, Charles Schulz came to see the show with his family. The next night, Lee Mendelson, the producer, came with his family. They called each other and said, I found the next Patty. And they were like, no, I found the next Patty. No, I'm telling you, I found her. And they were arguing over me.
Isn't that nice to be argued over? So
I
they were both
know.
like, no, I discovered her. No, I discovered her. I found her. Really? And so did they then, did they call you up and they were like, hey, come record, or what happened?
I think they called my agent, but I'm really not sure.
You just know that somehow, eventually you were recording Peppermint Patty.
Yeah, my mom was like, come on, we're going to record Peppermint Patty, and I got in a limousine and drove out to their studio and got to spend the day with really cool people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And tell me again how long you recorded for Peppermint Patty?
So I did it from 1978 until 1980.
Uh-huh.
I did You're the Greatest, Charlie Brown, She's a Good Skate, Charlie Brown, and Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown, and Don't Come Back.
Okay, because what I didn't know until I talked to Melanie, who voiced Lucy for several specials, is I didn't realize they used kids, and then when the kids kind of aged up, they're like, they get new kids.
Fired at 12. Yeah.
Fired at 12, man. Fired and moving on.
Hi, I'm Heath Miller. Do you want to be a voice actor, or at least up-level your career in voice acting? Elise Bowman teaches private and group sessions. Since I've started her class, I've learned the physicality, the confidence, and just how to improvise and how to become a new character. So I highly recommend taking EliseCoaches.com and give it a try.
But you were a child actor.
Yes.
So you stuck with acting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started professionally at 6.
Wow. Okay.
Did a Mama Celeste pizza commercial. Abendanza.
I would have hired you too. That was fantastic.
Ate way too much pizza that day.
Oh, okay.
And so it just sort of, I did a series. I was in The Little Rascals with Norman Lear.
Oh, uh-huh.
And like Todd Bridges and Gary Coleman were in it with me.
Yes.
And when they decided that wasn't working, they went on and put together Different Strokes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and what I want to mention too, this is so interesting, back to Peppermint Patty. So we've got Patricia Patz. You know where I'm going with this. Peppermint Patty. And then tell them your middle name.
So my middle name is Anne.
And she
Was Annie.
Annie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
Kismet.
you were meant to play those roles.
Yeah.
And I love some of these prints that you have. You've got such fantastic prints. And show us your pop, too.
Oh, yes.
Peppermint Patty pop.
So
So
I have
what's
that.
your, I know you're not, 12 anymore, but
Yeah.
can you still do a version of Peppermint Patty?
I can. I still have that sort of raspy sound
Yeah.
to my voice. So, hey Chuck, what you doing?
I love it. Hey,
Because there's
Chuck.
there's a patter to it. The up and down of how they spoke to one another was really what made the voices be Peanuts.
And when you booked that, did they talk to you about the pattern, or as a child, did you just pick up on it naturally?
So normally what they did was Bill Melendez would be in the studio with you and he would read the lines to you.
Oh, okay.
And so he said to me, okay, I want you to read it exactly like I read it. And so he would do those inflections. Except I was a professional actor already for 4 years and
Yeah.
just a bit of a smart. And so maybe I shouldn't say that on camera. I was a bit of a smart aleck. And so he had a really heavy Mexican accent. And so
Oh.
when he said, do it exactly like me, I said, exactly like you? And he said, exactly. And I said, okay. And I read the line back to him with the Mexican accent. And he said, oh, no, not with the accent. And I was like, I am 10 years old and I do know how to read. And he goes, oh, okay, well, you go ahead and do it. But by that point, I had watched Charlie Brown all my life, so I knew how to do those inflections.
And as an actor, you were probably more aware than somebody coming into it cold, because
Yes.
you knew what to listen for, you knew how to pick up on the inflections and the
Yes.
cadence.
Yes.
Okay, oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, so I was booked for an 8-hour day.
Uh-huh.
I did it in an hour and a half.
What? They
Yes.
were probably shocked. Because
Shocked.
especially, like, sometimes you don't always expect kids to fly through things.
Right. And back in those days, it wasn't digital. It was on a reel to reel. It was $1,000 for one of those reels. So for me to not go through 8 reels,
They were like, this girl's saving us money. We like her.
right?
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, that's, gosh, things you don't even think about.
Right?
That's so cool.
And the business is so different now.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you would still need the time in the studio and the engineer and all of that, but it doesn't cost anything to put it on
Yeah.
digital.
It's, easy breezy.
Hello, are you interested in being a voice actor? Or maybe you're already a voice actor, wanting to further your abilities. Well, you're in luck. Elise Bowman is now teaching voiceover classes. I happen to be one of her students, Tyree Bass. If you're interested in learning more about this opportunity, head over to elisecoaches.com.
Now, talk about being a child actor, because you had a good experience, it sounds like, and sometimes being a kid actor gets a bad rap.
Yes. I think the biggest thing that I would tell any parent that wants their child to be in the industry is it has to be fun for the kid. It can't be about the money. It can't be about fame. It's really got to be something that the kid wants. And what made it for me was that the moment I said, I don't want to do this anymore, Mom and Dad, they went, okay.
Oh,
There was never a moment where they were like, no, you have to continue like that.
yeah.
It wasn't like that for me. And so many of the other kids that I've known, they were like, yeah, they liked it, but they were really forced to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're very resentful of their childhood, and they feel like they missed out on this otherwise what would have been a great childhood. And I'm always like, nah, your childhood would have been really boring had you not done these really cool things. But it's hard to have that perspective when something is forced on you.
Yeah. Well, instead, it sounds like when you talk about it, your eyes light up. And I bet that comes across on camera, but definitely when we did a panel together, you lit up when you were talking about it. And that's because I was not a child actor, so I
Yeah.
don't know what that experience would have been like, but it's so cool to hear you talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I
Oh,
think we
you're
should say
welcome.
something peppermint patty-ish. I just made up a word.
You sly dog.
You sly dog. See you later. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.